sales will come down to the level of the leadership growth. And that is not a bad story. Sometimes it's healthy. What I've seen, and I'm going to speak candidly, there was so much growth that there was more and more and more pressure put on fewer and fewer and fewer leaders. And eventually those leaders said, we can't hold everything. We can't develop people long enough. We can't get on enough airplanes. We can't open enough countries. We can't do all this stuff all the time. We just can't. Because these leadership development takes time. So there's an adjustment. You haven't even adjusted to the level of leadership. The biggest opportunity you've got, because you've built a juggernaut of a company, the biggest opportunity you have is to identify people who have the potential of being leaders and to rise them up. The best skilled organization wins. The highest amount of leaders wins. But you leaders can't do it on your own. There's only so far you can go. You have to replicate yourselves. And those people have to replicate themselves. You got to develop more leaders. So I want you to understand that when you think about leadership, when you think about growth, a lot of people panic when there is a correction in the marketplace. And there's always an excuse. There's a regulatory issue, or there's a country problem, or there was a change in the comp plan, or we changed the formula of this, or we changed it. And yes, some of those things may have contributed, but in truth, this is the whole deal. Raise that group up over a long enough period of time, and sales and that group will match. That's the reason why I have no doubt in my mind that this company will be $1 billion, $2 billion, $3 billion, $4 billion, $10 billion, and beyond, because of the commitment to excellence, the commitment to leadership development. So just understand this. This is the realities of the world that we live in, okay? So let's talk about how we do this. And basically I have notes here from a 3-day leadership event that I'm going to try and cover in these 3 hours. So we'll see how good we can do. Skip a couple things. First thing I want you to do right now, every single one of you, is to take inventory. Let me just ask you some questions. It's page 6, John, if you have it. I don't know if you can follow this fast. But I'm going to ask you a series of questions quickly. What got you in the game? What caused you to join this company? What got you in the game? And sometimes you just need to remember. Sometimes it's been a while since you thought about it. You need to think about it again. What got you in the game? What's keeping you in the game? Is it legacy? Is it other people? Is it more money? Is it build an empire? Change the world? Fulfill the dream? Number 3, what is the health of your business? Right now, how healthy is it? How much growth, recruiting, product movement, volume? Is it going up, going down? Is it flat? The morale, what's the morale within the organization? Excitement, vision? Number 4, what is the chokehold on growth? What's slowing you down? That if you could fix this, everything would change. Some areas, if we can get more product into this area, it'd be fantastic. Or if we can get, or if we can get this to happen, or we can get that to happen. Or I need more leaders. I need better presenters. What is the chokehold on growth? Is it you holding on too tight? Is it you don't have enough leaders? What is it? Self-awareness is everything. Number 5, what is holding you back? What is holding you back? You want to have a breakthrough, self-awareness is key. What is holding you back? What is causing you to play smaller? Is it something physical? Is it something geographical? Is it something emotional? What is holding you back? Maybe you've got a problem child on your team. Talking leadership now. Maybe you got somebody on the team that's so disruptive that they are causing everybody else to lose focus. What is holding you back? You got to look at this stuff. Number 6, how much are you making? If you know me at all, and again, this isn't a claim and I'm not doing anything, but if I'm having a conversation with you and I'm working with you, I'm like, tell me how much. I need to know how much. How much was last month? How much was last year? How much? What was your peak and where are you now? Why? What can we do to fix it? Danny and I were talking right before we started this thing. He was talking about his goals for this year, and what was my response? You got to go bigger, bro. I love the goal. Fantastic. Goal's fantastic. Amazing. Everybody else is going to be proud, but there's another level. So how much you making? Number 7, what's your home life like? What's your health? You don't want to build a huge business and lose your family. Don't want to build a huge business, lose your health. What's the point? Rich and dead? That's not good. What's your health like? What's your home life like? Take an inventory, right? Your existing personal situation. Now talk about your existing team. Your existing team. How many leaders do you have? Write them down. The way we described them with these 5 criteria. How many do you have? Who are they? How many do you have at each rank? How many do you have at each income level? How many do you have in different countries? Take inventory. What do you got? What do you have to work with? Coming into this year, who's excited and ready to go? Who's lost their excitement and is not ready to go? What do you got to work with? At this moment, at this time of the year, is perfect time to be able to say, okay, I'm going to map out a game plan for 2021, but I got to see what I got. And listen, I understand a bunch of people around the world saying, this all sounds great, but I just got me. All I got is me. It's an army of one. Fine. It starts there. Don't ever feel bad about that. Every single person here, all these superstars, they all started with one. But still take inventory. Make a list of your existing assets and liabilities. What are the things that you're good at? What are the things that you got problems with? And also, what are your strengths? I have a philosophy when it comes to leadership development is what a lot of people will do is they'll focus on their weaknesses because they feel bad about them. I'm really not very good at this. I'm not good at that. I'm not good at this. I'm not good at that. Guess what I've seen with all the top leaders in the world? They manage around their weaknesses, but they don't spend much time. They have other people help them with their weaknesses, and they double and triple and quadruple down on their strengths. Whatever you're good at, it feels like cheating because it's not work to do what you're good at. You know what I mean? So it feels like you're being lazy to just do what you're good at, but you need to double and triple what you're good at and have somebody else help you with what you're not good at. Focus on those strengths, go hard on those strengths, hit those strengths, whatever those are, go hard in this year. Lines of significance. How many lines of significance do you have? Now you can decide, how would you guys measure a line of significance? What would it be? Certain rank, certain volume?
Say more than 10% of the total volume.
I mean, yeah, but is there a 10,000 CV or 20,000 CV or per month, or what would it be? Huh? What do you think?
50,000 CV maybe.
50? A rank? Qualified at a rank?
Depends on cycle or volume.
Yeah. So here's all I'm telling you. Well, however you determine a significant line of sponsorship, however you determine that, how many lines do you have of significance right now? What are the lines of significance? And then to measure, how many lines do you need to have in order to make this year a successful year? Pay attention to the lines of significance. Very important. One other thing I would tell you is take inventory on how many cities or countries that you have within your organization, and what is your goal for 2021 to expand the cities or countries that you have within your organization. I believe that the United States is a huge opportunity for somebody. Somebody's going to take this market. I don't know who it's going to be, but somebody's going to take this market. It is takeable. You just got to decide if this might be one of your projects. You got a big business somewhere else around the world, this might be a good project for you to be able to come build. But pay attention to that. And finally, I just want to say, you need to examine your limiting beliefs. Your limiting beliefs. You want to have a breakthrough, you want to go to the next level, you got to understand what is holding you back. And they're in your limiting beliefs. What beliefs are you married to that aren't serving you? I'm an introvert. I'm not a good leader. I'm inconsistent. Right? What are the things that you tell yourselves or somebody else told you and you keep repeating that cause you to play smaller? What beliefs are you married to that's not serving you anymore? They say you can't change the past. It's not true. You can change the past. See, people say, well, how do you change the past? Here's how you change the past. Change the meaning that you apply to the past, and the past changes. Just like that. You know, I was beat up, and I was made fun of, and I was bullied. And because of that, you can't expect me to be successful because I don't have much self-esteem. Well, maybe you were bullied in order to be strong enough to be able to tell the world and create a world where other people aren't bullied as much. Maybe that happened for a reason, so you could be a shining example in the future. You changed the story. Whatever that limiting belief, some of you were told that you were nothing since you were little kids. Some of you are in bad relationships, and in that bad relationship, that other person said something hurtful to you, and it sunk its teeth into you, and you've held on to that identity that other person tried to put on you. You can change the meaning anytime you wish. You can release that other stuff anytime you wish, and you can move forward. You could be a hostage to your past, or you could use it, harness it. I've had some of the most horrific things happen to me professionally that you can imagine. Stabbed in the back, betrayed, abused, mocked, ridiculed, made fun of, hated. I wouldn't change a single moment of it. Not a single moment. And I know that sounds cliche, but it's true. I wouldn't change a single moment for a couple reasons. Number one, I wouldn't be here living my best life. Number two, it made me stronger. I did not shrink from that circumstance. I rose from it. I wouldn't change it for the world, even though in the moment I would have changed it any way I could have. All of those situations caused me to be what I needed to be, and they'll cause you to be the same thing. I know everybody watching this has had some sort of drama, some sort of trauma. I know you all have. But are you going to use it, or are you going to have it use you? You going to use it to be a stronger version of yourself, or are you going to be a weaker version of yourself because of it and use an excuse to hide from the world? You got to decide. This is about, I mean, if we're talking about leadership here, guess what step one of leadership is? Lead you. Lead how you think about the past. Lead your goals. Lead your dreams. Lead your mind. Lead your emotions. Lead your spirit. And once you lead you, then you can begin to effectively lead others. But you got to lead yourself. Let me talk to you about I'm going to give you one quick hack, and then I'm going to talk about what I think are the key performance indicators for a leader within the organization. A quick hack. How many of you are organized? Pretty organized. Raise your hands, please. Pretty organized. See the hands, see the hands, see the hands. Pretty organized. I'm one of the least organized people you will ever meet. I am rebellious to structured authority. I'll give you an example. If you tell me tomorrow I have a call at 2:30, I'm now unhappy. Because it's like a splinter in my mind. I have to think about that call, I have to think about that call, I have to think about that call, I have to think about that call. Other people, you're super happy because you put it on the schedule and you got it, you're good. For me, day-to-day management of a task for the next year, like some people talk about daily method of operation. You ever heard that phrase? Raise your hand if you've heard that phrase. Here's a daily method of operation. Here's something you should do every day, right? And for you disciplined and organized people, daily method of operation, that is your thing. That is your jam. You make your little list. Today I'm going to share the product. I'm going to share the opportunity. I'm going to build for events. Here's my personal development time. That's what I'm going to do. Got it, right? Me, if you tell me I have to do something daily for the next 365 days, my mind rebels. It just does. So, knowing this about myself, knowing that I'm rebellious, I came up with a coping mechanism, a trick, so I'm more consistent. And I will tell you, I've produced and been more consistently prolific at putting out material and stuff for the last 12 years than I think anybody in the world, and I did it being super rebellious and unorganized. Here's how. Here's my hack. If any of you if you're disciplined, hey, all you got to do is make your list, and the world will not be peaceful until that list is gone. We know this about you. But for everybody else, here's my coping mechanism. Ready? I treat everything in my life as a project that has a beginning, middle, and an end. And I am happy working on a project and finishing a project, whatever it is. For you, a project might be getting to a rank or requalifying at a rank. It might be getting to an income level. It might be qualifying for an incentive trip. It might be treat the day. Today, my project is I'm going to reach out and connect with 10 prospects. I have a project, I'm going to launch a city in the United States. However I got to do it. And I'm going to map out that project. It's going to have a beginning, middle, and an end. But I will tell you, the project for me, give me a project. I'm so happy with projects. And for day-to-day tasks, guess what I do? I delegate. I have other people do it. That's my simple little hack, okay? For you rebellious, unorganized people, create projects and reward yourself like crazy for that project, okay? For you disciplined people, hey, make your list and the world will get out of your way because you're so organized, you're going to make it happen. Got it? Okay, that's my simple hack, and I'm telling you, that little project thing made me more money than you can even imagine. Everything I do is a project, everything. Coming here was a project. Going home. You know, tomorrow, my project, I have 3 specific projects between now and the 21st when I get on an airplane and fly international. Then I got a project for that trip. 2 of them. Everything's a project. Now, the other thing I want to give you before I get into the KPIs is I'm going to give you a way of thinking. This is one of my secrets as far as how to be very highly productive. And it's going to be hard for some of you to hear this, but it's my super secret weapon. There was a gentleman, one of the first billionaires I met. Anybody ever meet a billionaire? Show of hands. Anybody? A few of you? Oh, quite a few of you met a billionaire. They're unique creatures, right? They think different. They've got a different energy. Everything's different about the billionaires. Well, this first one that I met, he had 44 countries. He's worth about, not countries, he had 44 companies. He was worth about $3 billion. He seemed like he had all the time in the world. And I asked him, I said, can you show me how you do this? Because I'm frazzled all the time. I don't seem like I have any time to be able to manage my life. I'm behind, I'm running. How do you manage all this? He said, Eric, what's your goal? And at the time, I was like, well, I guess $1 million a year is my goal. I said, okay, if $1 million a year is your goal, that works out to about $500 an hour. He said, Eric, is there a task that will pay you in network marketing $500 an hour? And guess what? There is. You know what that task is? Talking with a prospect. If you're talking with a prospect, whether it's reaching out, presenting, following up, closing, getting them started, whatever it is, if you're in front of a prospect, talking with a prospect, that will pay you $500 an hour over time. Maybe not in that hour, but I mean, put it this way. How many people have you personally sponsored since you started in the company? About 300. And how many people did you talk to, do you think, to in order to be able to get those 300 to say yes?
About 400, 500.
So you had like 50% say yes to you?
Yeah.
Wow, you're very powerful. So let's say it was 600 people that you talked to in order to get your 300. That's not normal, by the way. Most of you are going to be dealing with like maybe 10%, 5%, whatever, but her number is a big number. So 600 people over how many years? How many years, yeah?
About, if I say about 2 years.
About 2 years.
Only
Okay, 2 years, 600 people, 300 said yes. You must be a very influential person. But over that period of time, how many hours did you spend with those 600 people in order to get those 300 people to say yes? Maybe if you averaged it all out with all the conversations, maybe 2 hours?
yeah, some of them very easy.
Some,
Other maybe
some easy, some hard.
time,
You got to follow up.
maybe like 2 hours.
All right, so let's say 3 hours.
Okay.
So that's 1,800 hours over the course of 2 years. Okay? And I don't want this to be an income claim, so just forget who this person is. You know, don't even look at them. Approximately how much are you earning now? Approximately.
How much what?
How much are you earning now?
That's confidential.
Is it?
Yeah.
I'm just trying to get to a number.
Compliance.
It's a compliance issue?
Yeah.
If you know how much Daniel, they're same rank.
Huh?
They're same rank.
What rank are you?
Triple diamond.
Triple diamond. So everybody can figure out what triple diamond is. Okay? So everybody figure out triple diamond, and I want you to divide those 1,800 hours in there and see where she comes up with on this $500 an hour. But I would feel very comfortable that she earned more than $500 an hour when she was in front of those prospects. Okay? So, sorry if I tiptoed too far in compliance, but I'm trying to make the point. So $500 an hour. He said, Eric, can you do that? If you stay in front of prospects, you will make that money. He said, so, 2 things, Eric. Number 1, anything you are currently doing that pays less than $500 an hour have someone else do it. My secret weapon. Anything that pays less than $500 an hour, have somebody else do it. And I said, well, wait a minute. What does that mean? Could somebody else put gas in your car? Yes. Could somebody else change the oil? Yes. Could somebody else go to the grocery store? Yes. How much does it pay? How long does it take to mow your lawn, to cut your grass? It takes me about an hour. How much could you pay somebody else to do that? $20? Every hour you're mowing the lawn, Eric, you're losing $480. Cleaning the house, somebody else should do it. Everything in your life that pays under $500 an hour that somebody else could do. Now, you shouldn't have somebody else put your kids to bed and read them stories. You know what I'm saying? Don't have somebody else take your wife on date night. You know, you should do that. But any business, anything that's in your life, you know what's the thief of most of your success and most of your growth? You know what it is? Your to-do list. Your nicky-nacky nonsense stuff that's just sucking up your entire life that you don't need to be doing. I never go shopping unless it's just going to bring my wife joy. That's the only reason I would do it. Outside of that, people bring stuff to me. I don't go grocery shopping. I don't put gas in the car. I don't wash the cars. I do nothing other than what I'm intentionally put on this earth to do. Okay? That number started at $500 an hour. Now it's much higher than that. 10 times that number. But what are the things that are causing you, that you have wrapped your identity in? Your identity, your purpose is not to do laundry, people. That's not why you're put on this earth, to do laundry and to wash the floors. So step 1, you need to have somebody else do it. Step 2, you can't just sit on the couch and eat bonbons and watch somebody else do their laundry. You got to get in front of prospects during those same hours. This is a productivity hack that's going to freak you all out, because some of you have your identity in cleaning the house. Some of you have your identity in mowing the lawn. Some of you have your identity in being handy. My dad is handy. My brothers are handy. Something breaks, they can fix it. I can't fix anything. I've consciously chosen not to fix anything. I don't have a toolbox in my house. I have a house manager that I say, this is broken. Have somebody fix it, please. And that's not to be elitist. It's because I only have so much time. And I'm not going to spend my time calling somebody to fix a problem when I can ask somebody to do it for me. This will change your life, and it's going to feel weird because you put your identity into it. It's going to feel really weird. So I would hope for you, if I moved into your house and I was coaching you, we're going to change the number of hours that you're spending in front of prospects, and we're going to reduce the number of hours that you're going to be doing scrolling mindlessly on social media. We're going to reduce the number of hours that you're spending driving around, trying to pick up stuff at garage sales, or whatever it is that you're doing, cleaning the garage, or whatever. We're going to reduce that dramatically. And you're going to be kicking and screaming and saying, no, I have to put the vacuum cleaner tracks into the carpet, or the kids aren't going to think that I love them. They're going to be fine. So, I will give each of you one assignment. Pick one area of your life that takes up time that does not bring you joy. Okay? Now, if mowing the lawn brings you joy, do it. If that's the way you turn your brain off and you just focus on your garden or whatever, enjoy your garden.